Today, I'd be explaining you how to attempt the question on reported speech, and this is especially for classes 9th and 10th. Now, what is reported speech? Reported speech includes direct speech and indirect speech. Let's have a quick review of what we have done in the previous video that I uploaded on reported speech. Direct speech includes the exact words of the speaker, and it is mostly written using inverted commas because it quotes the exact words that were said by the speaker. And indirect speech is when we report what somebody else said to a third person. So when we tell someone what the other person said, that is indirect speech. When you report the dialogue of the first person to another person. And reported speech or indirect speech is written without inverted commas. Now, reporting dialogues. Let's have a quick visualization of how direct and indirect speech looks like. Direct speech. She said, "I love horror films." Indirect speech, she said that she loved horror films. They said, "We will meet you tomorrow." They said that we would meet him or her the next day. She said to him, "I did not do it." She told him that she had not done it. Now, if you look carefully, every time we are converting a direct speech into indirect speech, there is a change in the tense. For example, in the first sentence, "I love horror films," it has changed to "she loved horror films." It has changed to past tense. So when you report a dialogue, it moves one tense back. All the present tenses change to past tenses and all the past tenses change to past perfect tenses. And why is it? Because when you are reporting a dialogue, of course, it is a matter of the past, because someone has already said what you are reporting now. So everything turns towards the past. Now, and of course, the pronouns change as well. When you report a speech, they said, "We will meet you tomorrow." They said that they would meet him or her tomorrow, because when you're passing this speech, you can't say "we will meet you" because you are not going to meet them. It is somebody else who's going to meet. So "we" has changed to "they." So this is how tenses and pronouns change. Now, a quick recap of how the tenses change. Simple present changes to simple past, present continuous, past continuous, present perfect, past perfect, present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous. So all the present tenses, they change to past. Now, all the past tenses, they change to past perfect. So simple past changes to past perfect, past continuous changes to past perfect continuous, past perfect remains the same because it's already past perfect, and past perfect continuous also remains the same because it's already in past perfect. And all the future tenses, in future tense, you are going to change will to would. So simple future would, future continuous would be, future perfect would have, future perfect continuous would have been. Now, before moving ahead, I would like to make one thing very clear. Whenever you have to do reported speech, make sure that you have done your tenses well. So learn all the rules of tenses. You should know what is there in simple present, what is there in simple past or continuous tenses. Until and unless you will not know your tenses, you will not be able to know how to change those tenses to the other tenses. So these are the rules for tenses. Now, this is how your question would appear in your exams. Report the above mentioned conversation. Now, there's a conversation between Kiran and Priya. Kiran: "Where have you been all these days?" Priya: "I went to Delhi to attend a workshop on environmental pollution." Kiran: "How was the workshop?" Priya: "It was quite informative." So these are a set of dialogues which have been spoken by Kiran and Priya. And the question would be, report the above mentioned conversation. And this is how your question would look like. Kiran dash all those days, full stop, Priya dash on environmental pollution. So the set of dialogues that you read just now in the previous slide, they will come in the form of fill up. So you are going to complete the dialogue. Okay. Now, Now this is the process that you should follow. I have picked up one dialogue each, the way it has come in your question, and this is how you should also do. First of all, be clear about how your tenses are going to change in reported speech. So the first fill up in your question is Kiran dash all those days. And the dialogue was, Kiran, where have you been all those days? So see, the dialogue has been written in present perfect. And what is the rule for present perfect? Present perfect changes to past perfect. So Kiran asked Priya, because Kiran is asking a question, so we will not say Kiran said, we will say Kiran asked. Kiran asked Priya where, now change it into past perfect, where she had been all those days. Now you have changed have you been to had she had been. So present perfect has been changed to past perfect, and the pronouns have also changed. You has changed to she, because you are reporting a speech to third person. You can't say you. Your listener is not Kiran's listener. Kiran's listener is Priya. So that's how pronouns also change. Now, next was Priya. I went to Delhi to attend a workshop on environmental pollution. Priya dash on environmental pollution. Now the dialogue has been written in simple past. Simple past changes to past perfect. So Priya replied that she had gone to Delhi to attend a workshop on environmental pollution. Now this was Priya's reply, Priya's answer. So we will not say Priya said or Priya asked. We would say Priya replied that. Now simple past will change to past perfect. She went to Delhi will change to she had gone to Delhi to attend a workshop on environmental pollution. Kiran, how was the workshop? Kiran wanted to know blank. Now this dialogue is again in simple past. Simple past changes to past perfect. Kiran wanted to know how the workshop had been. Now remember, I told you in interrogative sentences, when you change from direct to indirect, the helping verb goes towards the end of the sentence. It will always come after the subject. So you can't say Kiran wanted to know how had the workshop been, how the workshop had been. Subject will come first and then all the helping verbs will go when you report a question, because you have to change the question into a normal statement. And this happens for all the things. Even for exclamatory sentences, they change into normal statements. Imperative sentences also change to normal statements. So their format has to be changed accordingly. A question cannot look like a question when it is being reported, because when you are reporting, you will change a question into a normal sentence. Now, the last one was Priya. It was quite informative. Priya replied blank. Again, this is in simple past. Simple past changes to past perfect. Priya replied that, past perfect, it had been quite informative. This is how your format will be. Now, remember what I have told you before. First of all, know your tenses very well. You should know rules of all the tenses, all the 12 tenses. There are major 3 tenses: present, past, future. And then they have 4 subcategories: simple, continuous, perfect, perfect continuous. So you should know all the tenses. Then you should know how tenses change in reported speech. What are the rules of tenses change? And if you know the rules of the tense change very well, if you know your tenses very well, then this exercise is just like a mathematical calculation. You should see the dialogue, you should see what tense it is written in, and then change it according to the tense's rules, and then you will get your answer. So go stepwise, read the dialogue, look at the tense, change the tense, and then try to fill in the blank, and keep all the rules of reported speech in mind. We have discussed the rules of reported speech in previous video as well. So have a look at that video, plus have a deep revision of your tenses as well if you want to do this exercise really well. And this question is very important in 9th as well as 10th and 12th, all the board classes. And this is the exact format in which your dialogue completion will come for the reported speech. Thank you.